Alright, so by now you've probably already seen that Mineplex has closed down. If you haven't, well, there's your breaking news. I just want to take a few minutes to discuss this. Yeah, I've heard the Plexverse news and such, which is pretty cool, but let's just keep this focused on Mineplex. If you want a history of Mineplex, behind the scenes information, and the true reasons behind Mineplex shutting down, I recommend the Mr. Epic's video on the topic. He goes into detail on a lot of the drama that went down with Mineplex. I think he hits on a lot of my feelings about it too. I heard plenty of behind the scenes drama from years ago. Shout out to my old friend Itzender, who was staff way back in the day. None of that seemed too crazy like what I've seen recently, but I don't think it's my place to go into those things. My video here is more about my own history with Mineplex, a nostalgic look at the server for myself, I guess. Mineplex was dealing with a lot of struggles over the past few years. Its player count on the Java Edition version diminished to almost nothing over the past year especially. However, it survived for 10 years, and I think that deserves some recognition. That's actually very impressive. A game server surviving for 10 years had to have done at least some things right for it to last that long, and for that reason, it deserves some praise thrown its way. I had a long history with Mineplex, with opinions of it that are both favorable and unfavorable. Before I ever got interested in the type of content that you see across most of my videos now, I played a lot of Mineplex. That was more towards probably the peak of Mineplex though, back when I actually enjoyed playing mini games in PvP and such. I played a lot of Mineplex Turf Wars especially, which really probably wasn't a lot of people's choice when you think of a favorite Mineplex game, but for me, I loved that game. The simple concept of it was so enjoyable to me. The quick building of barriers, the shooting bows at enemies, just two teams across from each other trying to win a battle. It was just so enjoyable. It wasn't a complex game at all, simple to understand, yet it was fun. Along with Turf Wars, I just had great memories with games like Dominate, Bomb Lobbers, Death Tag, Dragons, Paintball, and the mixed arcade games. That era of Mineplex, and Minecraft in general, was incredible. Now, I'd say that's not really towards my interest when it comes to Minecraft. These days, I actually am more interested in the survival aspect of Minecraft. I love finding new seeds and whatnot, which really reflects my content. I guess I grew out of that whole minigame type Minecraft enjoyment, partly because I played so much of it, and also partly due to Mineplex. Actually, you know what? I'm going to show this clip here. That was probably the start towards me just not wanting to play on that server anymore. And I know what happens, and this was a problem for a lot of people. This clip was actually 8 years ago. I played for a long time after it, but it sort of reflects the slow decline of my playtime on Mineplex, until I just really didn't think about the server at all, or consider even playing on it. I think this short clip will probably show you the reason why my feelings started to trend that way. So here, check out an 8-year younger version of myself playing Turf Wars.
But yeah, I just camp on the outside and people are so dumb that they just keep going to the same spot and I can just shoot. And he's flying. Okay. So that's the end of that recording. Freaking
If you played on Mineplex, how many times did you encounter something like that? I don't fully put the blame on Mineplex for this, though we've seen other servers deal with the issue of hacking a lot better than I can say Mineplex did. I guess when the server's owners didn't have an interest in Mineplex, this wasn't really an issue to them. Issues will easily go unsolved when ownership doesn't have a connection with its community. I mean, they didn't even address the community when they shut the server down. But that's not something I want to dive into too deeply. You can find detailed information about these things elsewhere. I just know that once something isn't given the dedication, it begins to decline. The lack of introduction of new game modes or updates was a major impact in the lack of interest in Mineplex. But even despite still averaging over 4,000 players on the Bedrock server, the owners still made this decision. I guess that just shows an opinion on the server for them, which ends up as a sad reality for us all. In the glory days, there was always a discussion on whether Hypixel or Mineplex was better, and for a time, I really did like Mineplex more. I found so much more enjoyment while playing games on Mineplex. However, as time went on, that feeling began to change. Hypixel continued to introduce new games, and really, you can tell that there has been more care put into Hypixel over the years. The fact that we're seeing background footage of Hypixel probably speaks for something on how everything played out. Truthfully though, I always thought the Hypixel versus Mineplex debate was silly. They're both pillars of the Minecraft server space. They both have provided incredible memories and entertainment for their players. Unfortunately, one of those pillars is just no longer standing. When it comes to Mineplex, for me, it's a sad reality that things don't last unless they're pushed to. Mineplex had some incredibly dedicated staff, but that can only take you so far. When the owners don't reciprocate that same passion, things won't move forward. In truth, those staff members are who I feel the worst for. The stories of them holding down Mineplex for so long, even while not getting paid, are heartbreaking. I hope nothing but the best for them. No matter what they decide to do in the future, whether related to Minecraft or not, I know they'll probably have a high level of dedication for it. Considering some of them were working without getting paid for months, holding down a server that was dear to them, I hope that dedication can go to something that is worthy of it. Hopefully somebody, or something, that gets that dedication shows their appreciation for it, because those Mineplex staff members deserve that appreciation. Despite all of the recent drama and the sad decline of Mineplex, I'll always look back at it fondly. Some of my favorite Minecraft memories came while on Mineplex, whether it be trying to win games of Dominate with friends, playing late night games of Turf Wars, or just goofing around in the hub. I will remember the Mineplex memories fondly. I'll always remember the memory of getting Titan rank from a mythical chest. I'll remember goofing around with friends in minigames. And I'll just remember how fun the various games that Mineplex provided us with were. They were truly some amazing times. But who knows? Maybe there are more amazing times to be had. We'll just have to wait and see. Perhaps the end of Mineplex is just the start of something bigger and better.
Oh, I'm an idiot. That's...
What? What?
Earlier there was a guy just standing in here, and I was on the outside of this looking in, and I was just like, I can't get in here, like, what the fuck, dude? I was not clicking the right button.